I'd like to have this on record before we officially start here today on the Double D Experience. First of all, thank you for all the love on my expose on the American Dream Mall. I really poured my heart in that one, and to see that the algorithms kept blessing us, and that some of you in the comments seem to really, like, sympathize with what we had going on, too, or at least understood, at least. One dude said, like, it was just damage control, and you're not wrong, it is, but, you know, that doesn't, damage control for what, shitty things? Alright, whatever. Point is, thank you all for the love on that, and I hate to say this, you know, I mean, we're not even, like, a big podcast or anything, so I'm not at the level
not yet.
I'm not at the level where, like, I've said something that's gonna get me canceled, but I feel like I already have to apologize for something. Specifically to Dennis.
Oh, yeah, the fucking betrayal.
Yeah, the
fucking betrayal,
It's guys. Betrayal, the likes of which... It's Double D Experience Betrayal, the likes of which hasn't been seen since this motherfucker went to a Joji concert and didn't even invite me. Or tell me about it.
Hey, look, my sister.
So now we're even! We're even, motherfucker!
No, we're even when I get food.
Oh, you fucking cuck.
Continue.
I was about to say but then, like, I'm just like... Alright. And I also want to apologize to the unofficial third D in Dane, our friend Dane. We were all gonna go get the Krabby Patty Kollab meal together. Or Kollab meal, I always pronounce that word wrong.
Before you start, did you ask how long they're doing that promotion for or no?
No.
Fuck. Okay.
We'll look it up later, it's fine. We were all gonna get it together. Me, Dennis, Dane, another friend of ours named Jonah who couldn't do it, and also Dane's brother. And we went there, but none of our dumbasses checked the promotion date. It started on October 8th, and we went there on October 3rd. If Dennis didn't have one of his friends there that he ran into at the fucking Wendy's, and to ask them if they had the Krabby Patty meal, my dumbass would have walked up to the counter and asked for a Krabby Patty at a goddamn Wendy's. They would have been like, yo, what the fuck?
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah. So we were all gonna do it together. You know, bros just having fun. Letting, you know, silly capitalistic millennial-targeted promotions get to us to spend money on some good old cowhide, right? It worked. The marketing worked. And here's the thing. I had a really bad day at work. Where's the story going, right? I had a really bad day at work yesterday. I had to do something I've never done before at work. It took me like 6.5 hours. And then I still had 2 other assignments to do there. I worked 6.5 hours straight with no break. I was miserable. I was stressing. I can have low self-esteem when doing something new that I haven't done for the first time, that I'm expected to do. I used to ruin family game nights by not being good at something immediately. I've had, like, sort of self-loathing and self-esteem issues growing up, and some of those childhood issues rear their ugly heads when I have to do something that I'm not used to doing, and I'm expected greatness from it, right? So, I was able to do it eventually, and then I realized I worked 6.5 hours with no break. Stupidly, I forgot to pack myself a lunch, and the only real option, or the closest option, was the Wendy's that was around the corner from the store that I was at. So I went, and instead of just ordering like a Baconator, which is like my go-to when I go there, I was having a really terrible day, really in my own head, insanely hungry, that all by my lonesome, before my boys, while they were waiting for me, and waiting for all of us to be able to go find another date to get the Krabby Patty Kollab meal together. I ordered it. And I ate it. And let me tell you, shit was fire. That lard ball of a burger went down this buttery mouth hole, the likes of which have never been seen before on this planet. Mark my words. The secret sauce tasted just like cum. Nah, but it would have been if I pissed off the people at the drive-thru. Like, imagine I pull up like, this better be the good SpongeBob meal, not the shitty one that McDonald's did once, like a fucking boomer. And they give me more secret sauce, if you know what I'm saying. I almost did that once, by the way, when I worked at the Wayback Burger and I stopped myself. Point is, it was fire. The secret sauce was delectable. The pineapple under the sea frosty that came with it was divine, and I don't even like pineapple. I don't have the biggest sweet tooth in the world, and I don't even like pineapple that much, but even that shit was divine. And so, I'd like to apologize to the Gaming Republic. I'd like to apologize to my mom, who doesn't even, who knew about this shit and didn't give a fuck because she's just like, you were hungry, go get food, fuck your friends. Oh yeah, my mom's exact words. Just kidding. And most importantly, I'd like to apologize to Dane and to Dennis.
Fuck
Dennis,
you.
I love you.
No, it's fine. On the real, but like, I'm glad at the very least, like, David has confirmed for me that it is worth getting, because I've been on the fence about that thing ever since our fucking fiasco last week, and like,
how did none of us think to check?
It was literally like after we got told that, or after we found out that that shit basically is we were basically a day early. I really like kind of was just mulling it over in my head. I'm just like, is this shit even worth getting? It's like one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, like people were hyping it up and everything, but then it's like, oh, is it actually good? And I just had that mulling it over in my head for days, until finally David, just told me just now, like, oh yeah, like shit's actually fire, like, you should go get it, and yada yada. So
yeah,
like, I guess like one of these days, like, since I am working from home, I'll just like there's literally a Wendy's like 10 minutes out from where I live, so like I could probably just get it, like, no problem. But
you don't gotta wait for me anymore, man, because I betrayed you.
Yo, you gotta let Dane know too, you fucker.
I will. I can't. Yeah, that's true. I can't let him listen to this and have this be how he figures it out. Dane is he's a pretty emotional guy. Like, if he listens to this and it's his first time hearing it, like, he would feel actually betrayed.
He would do the Ron Burgundy glass case of emotions cry. Like, like he would actually, he really like would, unironically.
I love that part. It was worth, like, I understand that too when it comes to promotional meals. Like, is this some bullshit where they just like slapped like a character on a label? You know what I mean? Like, is this like the Travis
They just called it the Krabby Patty, like, and that's just it. Work's finished. All right, everyone, great job today. Like, and just call it a day.
Or is this like the Travis Scott meal where it tastes like, getting trampled on at Coachella?
Or the Mr. Beast burger, which I even heard is even not that great.
Mid as fuck. Thank you. That's something else I should have brought up last week's episode when we were talking about Mr. Beast burger. And the light of burgers. Oh, Dennis, it's the most mid burger I've ever had in my life. They cook it so well done. It's insane.
Yeah, I heard. And it's just kind of like you're eating like a hockey puck and shit.
Yeah, it was like very hockey puck-esque. It's like, dude, with the amount of money this prick has. I mean, does he have more money than Wendy's? I don't. Probably not
Wendy's. No,
okay, then yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe like Jimmy scapegoated on the burger like he did with his fucking like Mr. Hanky chocolate that he was selling in Walmarts. But yeah, I apologize to the Gaming Republic. It's worth it though. By the way, just get the Krabby Patty one. Don't get the burger named after rappers who just like don't even say I'm sorry in their apology videos. Actually, don't get the Chris Brown burger, which is not a thing. But if it was a thing,
shit's so good it'll slap the shit out of you.
Oh, it'll really knock you off your boots.
Let me see. Wait, best collab.
That was fucking
meals.
terrible.
Best food collab meals.
Yeah, is there like a list of that shit?
Most memorable food collabs. Okay.
Well, I think one of them that's probably, if I could guess one before we even got the list, it's gonna be the fucking Szechuan sauce that McDonald's had in the 90s that resurged because of Rick and Morty, because...
I actually did forget about that, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Which, by the way, that makes no sense. Wouldn't Rick, he's a fucking genius. Wouldn't he be able to just time travel back and replicate that sauce? Or just go to a different universe where, the promotional deal never ended in his infinite amount of timelines?
Look. If you say anything, don't give the...
is my fucking IQ not high enough to understand why the fuck he couldn't just go to another dimension?
Don't give the triple-digit IQ Rick and Morty fans any ammunition. It's just rule one, okay?
Sorry, I don't have fucking Eggman brain.
They're just too smart for this universe to even exist. They're just too fucking smart. So, just...
I once had someone in the NASB Discord say that you have to have a pretty high IQ to understand Melee. You ever want to slap someone through a fucking screen?
there is a lot of collabs. Well, for one, let me just preface this by saying, one would think I would be a very well versed food collab connoisseur. I've gone through this whole fucking list. I didn't know any of these existed.
Well, how many of them are like from like the 80s or the 70s or some shit? How long have they been doing that?
There is a couple. But if we're talking about collabs, right? We're not even talking about like, okay, yeah, like a food item, like the way the Krabby Patty was. Like, it was just like a simple, like, SpongeBob x Wendy's, collab. And it was just, obviously making, it was probably like a Dave single that they like, I think it's the first time actually Wendy's patties ever been a circle to begin with. Because all their shits are fucking squares.
McDonald's did one with BTS once.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a BTS meal. There's that one. I wonder what that was.
There was one Korean actor who did one for Subways. I don't know what year that was, because it was supposed to be a part of like Subway's like Eat Fresh Feel Good campaign, which it's kind of a shame that Subway's is that one spokesperson got outed as a what. That was a while ago, but still.
Yeah.
Shame. What else? We got this one makes sense. Fucking Justin Bieber and Tim Hortons. That one's kind of obvious.
Yo, Tim Hortons?
Yeah.
Ass.
Really?
I don't like it. I had a breakfast sandwich there once, and it was an egg sandwich with fucking syrup in it.
I just got coffee.
Dennis, those goddamn Canucks put syrup even on their fucking eggs.
How much more Canadian can you get?
How much more racist am I going to get in this podcast?
One other
Jesus
one
Christ.
that I kind of forgot about just because like I didn't really give a fuck about this one in particular. Like,
by the way, it's okay. I'm friends with a lot of Canadians. I have Canadian friends.
Oh, okay. Meg the Stallions Popeyes collab, the fucking hottie sauce. I forgot. I actually forgot about that one.
Really? The hottie sauce?
The hottie sauce.
Respect. Respect. Her sex appeal is definitely part of it. It's just, it's just her ass is fake. And so are her titties. So it's less like when... I prefer au naturel, poisonally.
You don't like the BBLs, eh?
No, I do not, in the slightest. I mean, guys walking around with... Or like fucking bolt-ons where it's like, that shit's harder than my phone.
Ooh.
It's not... That's not how you do it. And so for that to be the hottie... No. The hottie meal should have been named after Sydney Sweeney. Or Christina Hendricks.
Again, I'm not going to argue against that.
No disrespect to the stallion. But I'm sorry.
Was
it good at least, though? Like,
people actually did kind of like it. So, I mean, again, whatever. To each their own. But the one that I think is not actually in recent memory, because this was like at least 12 years ago.
Lay it on me.
Taco Bell and Doritos with that Dorito Crunch.
Oh, yeah.
And that became... I mean, from what I heard, that actually saved Taco Bell from going, like, literally under. Because,
are you serious?
I think around 2012, they were kind of going through, like, a pretty rough patch. A pretty big rough patch, like, financially wise. And I think, from what I heard from people... I'm going to look this up, actually. But, like, from what I heard from people, that... this promotion literally saved their ass because like people just like were raving about it after it had come out, and then eventually, as we all know, the Doritos Crunch became a mainstay of Taco Bell like ever since, and it's obviously like we don't really see collabs ever really sticking around for that long.
I have to cut you off because you do, and you don't even realize it, Dennis. Because, a lot of fast food restaurants in general, ones that were mainstay menu items, were once just promotional ones. It's actually a pretty common practice when it comes to fast food. Wayback Burgers, they did a promotion once. It was around like the later time when I was still working there. They introduced it like around like the last couple of months or so, or last month when I was working at the spot. Yeah. They did a Southern Cooking Louisiana theme. The kind of the Southern cooking where it's draw like molasses. It's not a good accent. I know, I'm exaggerating it on purpose. But you see what I'm saying? They had Cajun remoulade sauce. Like that Creole spicy sauce that you put on stuff.
All right.
It's still there.
You could ask for it?
5 years later, I had it like when I had way back a couple of weeks ago. They still have it. And tater tots, which were new to the menu, also a temporary item. Cajun tots. They introduced that in 20...
But is that collab items? Or is that more like promotional ones that like, hey, like I think that's more promotional, no?
Yeah,
because I can't see a Krabby Patty being a mainstay on Wendy's menu.
Yeah,
forever.
No, it won't be.
Like, I have a feeling it's probably gonna be gangbusters as far as like financially wise. It's like hey, like everyone really loves this shit. Like I have a feeling it's gonna do well enough that like they're gonna realize like okay, why don't we just like kind of have this stick around in the menu for a little bit longer? Because like it's the same way with movies too. Going like when you go to the theaters. It's like if a movie's just that fucking fire, like usually it doesn't leave the theaters for like a long goddamn time.
And if it's so bad, it's going to already be on streaming service within a month, like Joker 2 already is. Yeah. Joker 2 is already going to be on streaming services in like a month.
I'm kind of sad about that movie, that it turned out that way. Like, I actually really liked the first movie, and like I was kind of excited. And not to mention even, like, I know people haven't really seen her too much in a lot of things yet, but like Lady Gaga, like kind of just breaking out into Hollywood and everything, like she could act. Like I honestly thought like she's done other
decent. Movies. Yeah. She did that one with Bradley
Gucci.
Cooper, yeah,
and the Gucci movie,
and the House of like, Gucci movie, like
yeah.
I think she got nominated for like Best Supporting Actress or Best Actress for that shit.
Good for her, yeah. That's why like, I was excited her playing like I guess a more what do you call it? I guess more down to earth, more like more realistic,
grounded,
yeah. So not like really much like obviously Margot Robbie, like that sort of kind of aesthetic, like just
not
much
the
like,
Mr. J, like Harley Quinn, more like the Mr. J, or like the toxic Mr. J, or almost like I'm in love with the idea of you, Mr. J, which it all correlates, but
even something about that movie because like I know. Obviously, we all know like Joaquin Phoenix like came back for this movie, right? But like, I don't even
talking about Joker now.
No. But like, no. I'm just kind of saying like,
we can't
off of the promotional material. Like, I'm just like, he really looked so bored doing. Like, he looked so uninterested. Like with the project almost. Like
he rejected the script several times.
But then
he sent it back and literally said, "I'm not going to do this if the script stays this way." Multiple times.
But the money then convinced him, basically. Because the script was fucking god-awful, from what I've heard.
Everything about it was, god-awful. And it kind of makes you think, in the light of Joker 2, Todd Phillips, the director, by the way, Todd Phillips, was more known for directing, like, the Hangover movies, I think, right?
Yeah.
And, like, comedies and stuff. So he made this movie, which is or Joker 1, I should say, which is not a superhero movie. It's not a comedy by any stretch of the imagination. It's a character study, is what that movie is. And it did so well to the point where it spawned a culture behind it, as you all know. There's a lot of
memes. We all know the memes.
And the memes, too. But, there's a lot of douchebags or other, like, two douchebags with podcasts who will have that dude, like, plastered on the front of it, because, like, he represents me or some shit. It makes you think, what Joker became an incel icon for guys who hate women,
Sigma
hate
males
society, for Sigma males, guys who like blame society, guys who blame literally all of like their toxic behavior on society and on women for some reason instead of themselves. Like the type where you like really your head is so fucking far up your booty hole that you can't look inward. He became an icon for those people. The Joker did. The society memes, all that stuff, you're familiar. He became like sort of an incel icon where they're like, yo, he's just like me for real. And it instantly let women know the kind of guy that you should never date. Like instantly. That's my advice, ladies. If he has like a Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, like pictured anywhere in his house, on his phone, and social media, dump his ass immediately. I'm not even kidding. But point is, it's rumored that Todd Phillips hated, like, not the success of the movie. Obviously, he made bank off of it, but hated the reaction to his film. Hated the fact that this character was so misinterpreted to the fact that he became an incel icon to the point where people used him as an excuse to hate women and to blame society for their lack of introspection as to why they can't get laid or, men's rights issues, like all that fucking, bullshit. To the point where he decided to make the second film as much of a fuck you to the first one as he possibly could have. That's the dichotomy, Dennis. Like, in my mind, what's going on with Joker 2 is I really cannot tell if the movie is designed to truly be that much of a fuck you to the first one, like, go fuck yourselves, we hate the audience from the first one, or if they created a circle of pretentiousness so raw and so foul to the point where, yes, it's gonna be a musical past every level of clearance, and their heads were so far up their booty holes, and they were so pretentious that they ironically thought it was a good idea and thought it would do well. That is my stance on the movie. I haven't seen it. I'm not going to. I don't give a shit. I'm going to drop a list of some stuff right here, and I don't know if do not quote me on all of these. I found like a fact sheet online. A lot of them could be bullshit. I'll even throw it on screen for you all. Here's number one. It says here that the idea came to Joaquin Phoenix in a dream. I have never heard that from any confirmed source anywhere. I have no idea if that's true, considering that I believe he rejected the script several times before
let's play a game here then. Let's play a game here then. For each one, we'll say believe or not believe. So
let's do it.
For one. Okay, so for one.
And there's 14 of them, so it should be an even number. So we're going to judge this whole sheet right here on whether it's believable or not believable at the end, depending on what has more. We're going to have to make a little list. Hang on. I have to do like a little note list, otherwise we're going to forget. Alright, here we go. Number one. Idea came to Joaquin Phoenix in a dream.
Not believable.
Yeah, I to my knowledge, there was a rumor.
There's nothing to back that up. So, like, we don't even have a quote from the man himself.
Yeah. We're going to do believe or bullshit. That's going to be the name of it.
Believe or bullshit.
Believe or bullshit. Yeah, let's do it. And, like, considering the fact that, like, I don't know if this rumor is true, that he really did, like, have so many problems with the script that he sent it back a million times. How would it have been his idea that it was a musical? Come on. Get the fuck out of here. Alright, we're going with bullshit on that one. Number two. Dennis, if you could do the honors.
Contemplated putting on a Broadway show before committing to making a movie. Now.
That would have been better. If they made it a musical on Broadway, that's more justifiable at least. It would still suck a donkey dick, but it would be way more justifiable.
At the same time, I don't know how classically trained Joaquin Phoenix is. I think he is very classically trained.
That man can, in fact, act his way out of a paper bag.
So it makes me believe that.
Dude, have you seen the movie I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Which one?
Did you see the movie where he played Johnny Cash?
Oh, I did not.
He did the Johnny Cash biopic. He sounded exactly like him.
I mean, bro's been method acting since God knows when.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Method acting's harder than you think. It led the guy who played this exact character to off himself. So, I mean, it could go kind of stupid, I'm not gonna lie. Locking yourself in a room for, months on end, waiting for your DoorDash to come in so you don't die while researching for a role.
You think, Heath Ledger's, turning in his grave. He's like, oh, man, come on, why? He's just looking down from heaven. He's just like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
Do you think they dug him up and opened his casket so they could put his
Maybe that should be number 15.
Do you think they dug up Heath Ledger's body so they could open his casket just to put his Oscar in it?
They probably gave it to
as
his
fucked up as that seems. Okay, yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry.
Also, number 2.
I need a platter.
Believe or bullshit?
I believe that. I actually believe that. Wait, I don't know how many times Warner Bros.
Joaquin Phoenix contemplated putting on a Broadway show?
No, just the producers in general.
Oh.
No, I believe it, because think about it. There's the Harry Potter musical, which I don't know if Warner has any involvement in. I think they just own the theatrical rights.
Just
or the movie rights to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put believe, personally. I believe it.
I could believe it. I was even thinking, off of that, right? It's this is probably, the reason why I don't live, I don't work in Hollywood, because this would have been a financial disaster. But,
yeah, that's the reason.
The other part of it was, It's also because I don't know P Diddy as a personal friend, so I have no
true.
ins. I have no ins to that.
That's
industry.
music industry. That's the music industry. You got to confuse. You confused him with Epstein. Diddy is the Epstein of the music world. You got to confuse.
I think it's all intertwined though. Not gonna.
It
lie.
is all intertwined, but like he's much more involved in music. Like he's the one who be like, yeah, you gotta suck.
Yeah,
this
but he's
dude's
not
dick.
he's not chatting up like other Hollywood stars. Come on now.
You gotta suck this dude's dick while this other dude watches while he rubs lube in his eyeballs. And then Kanye's gonna sit in the corner with Bianca here, and they're gonna be rubbing each other in the meantime. And just to entertain myself, I'm just gonna drop a shit ton of lube on the floor, and y'all have to fuck while slip and sliding on it like a slippity slide hippity hop. Go! That's what the Diddy parties were like, I imagine.
Call bullshit. Actually, no. I could believe this a bit.
We gotta move on. We gotta move on. There's so much.
So number 3.
We gotta keep going.
Toddy Philippi had to free Rainey with Warner Brothers wanting him to do his thing, and film had no test screenings. I can honestly believe that.
1000%, yes.
Because he did so well with the first one. It's like, hey, we give you complete trust to do everything you can to make this movie a success.
Everyone hated this movie. Critics, audiences, the incels, everyone. There's no way they showed this shit to anybody. There's no fucking way. Moving on, we're done with that one already. That one's easy. Number 4, Lady Gaga signed on before the script was finished. They could have walked up to her and just been like, yeah, we want you to play Harley. And she might have just said yes, like, fuck yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I could believe that. Me too. I think she also probably thought like, oh yeah, like I mean the first movie did so well. I'm sure like the script, whatever it is, will be great. And then she got blindsided.
Maybe. I think we're gonna wind up believing most of these. I hope this isn't just like a full fact sheet, but
unless it's gonna be like something completely just like wild, like we'll see. But new DC boss James Gunn had zero involvement. Gave notes, but Todd Phillips didn't use them. I can see that. Just because directors in general usually kind of don't like being told like what to do. And
yeah,
like in general, like I could see like Todd saying, "Oh, thank you for the notes," and just tossing them into the garbage as soon as he got them from James. So.
Yeah, and a producer can be as involved or uninvolved as he or she wants in a film. Michael Bay was the producer of The Purge, the original Purge movie. He did not direct that film. It has his stink all over it. You watch that movie and you're like, this is so nonsensical and stupid and head-assy that this seems like... This seems like a Michael Bay kind of thing. So this is where the dichotomy comes in, Dennis, because there was that internet rumor that like this movie was designed to be a fuck you to the first. But that's gotta be bullshit, right? Because why would Todd Phillips want this movie to fail? They spent $200 million on this.
Not to mention even it's like, the chance of another big payday for this movie, like since the first one, like, come on now. Like
Alright, believe.
Yeah, I believe.
This one you could just Google, so I don't know if this one's believable. It says number 6, the film had a huge budget, $200 million, and just including $20 million for Phoenix and $12 million for Gaga. So almost a quarter of the film's budget went to the 2 leading actors.
That tends to be the case, though, for a lot of movies, in my opinion.
Yeah, but at the same time, if you
like Robert Downey Jr.'s fucking salary, like during Avengers,
yeah,
it was practically like a good 1/5.
I mean, same thing for him playing Dr. Doom. He already got a fat paycheck for that shit.
Yeah. It's not even out yet. The movie's not even out yet.
Yeah. It really makes you think, where the fuck does that money go? Does it go to like the new Epstein Island where like you're diddling new kids? Because I don't understand. Like this film was shot in such basic locations. It couldn't have been that expensive to film.
I think it was in New York that it was shot in. Yeah. There's some shots that was in New York. Yeah.
I mean, New York is still pretty expensive now, but I don't know what those.
But I mean, for Warner Brothers, it's like fuck it. Who cares? Like, like they don't give a shit. Like it's not, no skin off their bones.
Should we stop this game and talk about Invincible? Because it seems like we're just believing all of these.
Yeah, fucking moving on. Whatever.
Yeah, right. Honestly, we believe all of this because the rest of it is stuff you could just Google. It says like, the cinema score was a D, which is the lowest ever for a comic book film. I know that was true. Where's the... Yeah, it's domestically opened with $37 million or $38 million. Lower than fucking Morbius. Like, multiple sources confirm that. Alright, yeah, we don't have to go through the rest of this, honestly.
I'm already bored reading this.
Yeah, me too.
I practically believe it all.
This episode got a little too scrambled. Okay, let's talk about what we actually came here to talk about. And then we're gonna wrap. Invincible Season 3 has been confirmed. It's dropping in February. Has your boner ever touched the stratosphere before? Because you might have seen mine. It lit up like the Northern Lights in New Jersey the other day.
That teaser looked so fucking first draft.
Right?
I have never seen something that looked like it was so rough cut in my life.
What animation studio they outsourced to make that promo, but that shit looked awful. My God.
Maybe it was intentional. Maybe it was intentional. I don't know.
No, Cecil was moving at like fucking 15 frames. That shit was like... And the whole time it was just like, Mark, what are you doing? 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 Have you been jacking off for the last 2 years?
You have to fight the Viltrumites. What are you doing, Mark? Mark. 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 Mark.
And the whole time he was just like, I've been preparing to fight the Viltrumites. Dude, after what he went through at the end of Season 2, shut the fuck up. That was not how he would prepare.
At the same time, you know, if it was the way well, that's the thing though too. If it was the way the comics like thing ended near that season, with it, you know, with the thing happening to Mark, like that everyone I assume knows like thing about, you know, what happens in the comics.
Not everyone knows.
He got
he done got graped by a lady.
He got raped right in the mouth.
And they got rid of that in the show.
I really wonder why there wasn't no outcry for that shit. Maybe there was and I just missed it.
Yes, I want rape. Give me rape.
But storyline wise, it was like a big part of his character arc.
I didn't read the comics, so honestly, I wouldn't know if it was that big. I mean, I don't even look at like the thumbnails where like, because we know the story of Invincible. It was a comic series first, so like there were Invincible fans, like hardcore comic book fans that know like what happens in the show already.
You know, the same ones from like The Simpsons. Like, you remember the Simpsons character? He's just like, oh yes, there is the 11th edition. What the fuck? I don't even know what is the superhero?
No, this is the 11th edition of Invincible. Worst comic book ever. Yeah, the comic book guy, yeah. He doesn't have a name. He's just comic book
He's just comic book, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's literally what they've called him for like the last 30 years.
He's all neckbeard nerds like that.
Yeah.
Honestly. Fucking God.
But yeah,
Simpsons never got it so right so quick. Holy shit. Like, that's how all of you guys sound like, honestly.
I remember like the fucking Simpsons movie where like the bomb's about to go off and he's just sitting there, he's like, all my life, all I've done is collect comic books. And I just have to say, life well spent. That's a real Sigma right there. That's a real fucking Chad, honestly. Yeah. Let's go, comic book guy. So I'm just ecstatic because like I love how they poked fun at like animation in there because they were like, he was like, Mark, what have you been doing this whole time? And he'd be like, writing, storyboarding, keyframing, voice acting. That shit was pretty. Ooh, still with the meta jokes. I like that shit a lot.
I love that too. Yeah.
And the biggest thing is that like Cecil was just like, "Are you still gonna do that like whack ass break in the middle?" Yeah, I bet like sitting around for 4 months was a lot of fucking fun.
I love at the end too. They even said no breaks. Like they just like no breaks this time. We promise.
Said, like no breaks. We promise. 8 episodes of fucking peak ass television. Invincible is back, bitch. Oh, that show.
Get your fire sticks now.
Get your fire sticks, your Roku's out, whatever it is you're using to watch that shit. If you dicks out for Mark. He's just like me and Dennis for real. He is half white and Korean. Dude, Mark is if you and I fucked.
Think so?
If you and I fucked, which one would get it would be me. Actually, never mind. I just realized. I feel like I'm definitely a little more feminine than you.
Glad someone said it. No, I'm kidding. Not really. Kidding. Not really. Kidding. So yeah, season 3.
Ow. Ow, my face. Ow, fuck you. Yeah, I'm glad one of us finally said it. Oh, that was comedy. You know that picture of Chowder holding up the golden book? Comedy gold. That was fucking... Fuck.
Look, man.
Okay, let me focus. This has been the most scrambled episode we've done in a while. I am so sorry.
Oh, please, algorithm, please bless this episode too.
Yeah, please just let it keep going. Please don't fuck us for the next, couple of months again. Just because Dennis had to start talking about, likability of characters when we were talking about burgers. For, 15 minutes.
Likability of burgers.
Likability of burgers. Yeah, that's a tier list for another day. That'd be a fun episode to do when we have nothing to talk about. Like a nice filler one. Be like, I put the Whopper here, Wendy's here, fast food tier list. Never actually done that. It's like borderline bottom of the barrel content, but people love that shit, so fuck it. And it's fun. I love making tier lists is fun. But anyway, yeah, Invincible's coming back. No break this time, which is hype, because season 4, spoilers, ended on a cliffhanger. He found his father, and he didn't mean to find his father. He just showed up, in a place where he was going. He got you baited, and then, Omni-Man was just like, hello, son. It's been a while. I can't do that voice. I don't know how to do J.K. Simmons. It's just a normal voice that's just hard enough to impersonate. But anyway.
But it's so him, though. It's distinct.
It's so him, it's distinct, and that's what makes it, special. That's what makes your voice special. That's what makes mine special. And no 4-month break, which is hype. Because I wasn't even around for that. I didn't watch Invincible yet, so I didn't have to wait. And I can imagine having to wait after that's the fucking cliffhanger. Oh, I would have been pissed too. And the show is so good that they were able to get away with that shit and not lose a huge chunk of the audience. And then get confirmed all the way up to season 5. That is how good Invincible is, that they were able to take a break in the middle of the season and not lose enough of their audience to be like, fuck it, in this wide world of streaming where there's a million shows getting greenlit all the time, and Invincible's gone now. Sorry. No, it didn't happen. The show is legitimately just that fucking good, to the point where they're able to take a break in the middle of it and have that happen. So please, if you haven't already, watch Invincible. It is one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. It is peak television. You will not be disappointed. The story is so enthralling. It feels so basic at times too, but it's also not. I feel like it follows the typical monomyth of the animated superhero shows we watched as kids, like Teen Titans and Justice League and stuff. If you like those shows, you'll love Invincible.
It's almost just a more mature version of that.
Yeah, just with blood and shit, and guts and whatever occasionally. Yeah, she's popping off for it too, you hear her? Let's go! Is that your mom or your sister popping off for Invincible season 3?
Both of them are excited.
Both of them are excited for Invincible season 3. It's confirmed now. We thought we were going to get that a little later. Dennis thought it was going to be another year, you said?
Yeah, honestly. I didn't expect it this soon, really.
Well, it's here.
Y'all better not be cracking the fucking whip on the animators, Amazon. I swear to God.
That was my first thought, too, if I'm being honest. We've been getting so excited that, the hashtag New Deal for animation did not echo through either of our minds a single time. But who knows? Maybe they did workhorse them, but then they gave them even fatter stacks. I'm being insanely optimistic. That probably didn't happen at all. They probably just cracked the whip on them and then fucking cut their pay. But,
Come on, guys. It's crunch time.
It's crunch time. Invincible Season 3. Merch. Ooh, maybe there'll be, Invincible shit at Comic-Con. I didn't even think about that.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe. Maybe Steven might be there. Maybe. Are you going? Oh, no, yeah, you said you are going. Yeah.
I'm going with my girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah. Have fun.
Thanks, man. Never been to one before.
It's gonna smell like shit.
I bet. Well, I'm pretty pressed for time to edit this, so...
I'm so fucking hungry.
Yeah, and Dennis is hungry, and I have to feed
Maybe
him.
that's the reason why I rambled in minute 20. Because I was so
it's
fucking
okay.
hungry.
I'll do the magic of editing.
Yeah, please just take that shit out, just entirely. None of you will know too what I'm talking about. Because it'll just be gone into the ether.
We'll cross that bridge when I come to it, which is going to be in like
sucked,
an hour.
Man.
No, it didn't. Your thoughts and insights are valuable. Your thoughts and insights are valuable, but not when you don't have a platter in your belly.
These are plugs, motherfuckers.
Like and subscribe if you liked it. I have a feeling this episode's not going to do as well. It was a little scrambled, but if you want to keep giving us that love, there's a like and subscribe button right there, as well as a 5-star review button that you could do if you're listening on Spotify, which I know like none of you do really. So, but if you do listen on Spotify, there's 2 clicks, leave a quick 5-star review, helps our podcast discovery a lot. And if you liked what you heard, third time, like and subscribe. Comment if you're excited for Invincible season 3, if you've seen the show, or more than that actually. Comment what you thought of the Krabby Patty. If you had that. We're curious to hear your thoughts on that, or if it's just like a stupid promotional meal, or if it was a godlike promotional meal. You hope the Krabby Patty stays on the menu, which I also have a pretty strong feeling it won't. But they might bring it back. I can see it being the kind of thing they get rid of and bring back. That I can see them doing.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like a recurring thing, kind of like the pumpkin spice. That's another one too. Like as far as promotional items go, like Starbucks, like just love that pumpkin spice because then white girls you just can't keep them away with this shit.
You really can't. I'm saying, fellas, if you want to if you're a fan of the Pogs, just like take some pumpkin spice and rub it on your sack when you leave the house.
All the
like moths to a flame.
All the Lululemon leggings and UGG boots. Will be running towards you.
And also true crime documentaries. If you could somehow put that on your junk, they'll run towards that as well. We love you, white women. I'm dating a white woman now. I can make these jokes.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. She's so white. She's blonde, dude. All
right, guys, I'm hungry. I'm out of here.
I gotta go buy this fucker a platter.
Take care, guys.
We'll see you next week. We'll be a little less scrambled. And here's a big fat old kiss for you. Mwah. We'll see you in your dreams.
Balsamic.
We love you.
I don't know why I said balsamic.